Virginia.
Yes.
Maybe somebody could be there for the annual town meeting.
Yeah, you know, I'll invite them to make sure.
Yeah.
They always come.
They always come, they sit in the front row down in the
Sure,
side.
without an invitation.
Okay, Julie, I don't, I assume we all have these in the same order.
I hope
think
so.
This
Should
says
be.
Saturday in bold?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. This is the perennial one that comes up to move the annual town meeting back to a Saturday.
We did vote on that at town meeting last year,
Mm-hmm.
and it got,
It was a citizen's petition.
no, we put it on. The selectmen
Yeah,
put it
we
on
did.
because somebody came before us and asked us to.
Okay.
And it was voted down at town meeting. So,
But it was closer.
Persistence.
so,
That's what it is.
I mean, we can put it on again. It doesn't- Again, it's just let's let the
Put
town,
that on last year.
it was on last year.
Yeah, it
right?
was.
But it was a tall, gray-haired fella that.
Well, he asked us to do it. It was, yeah, I know who it was.
Yeah.
He asked us, he came before us and asked us about it, and we put it on for him. We didn't make him do a citizen's petition. And as soon as we're done, I'll think of his name, but,
It peaked, begins with a P.
yeah. Because he came to rec meetings for a while, too. Anyway.
All right. I'll make the motion to put this on the annual, excuse me, as an annual town meeting submitted by the Board of Selectmen.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay. Any other discussion? Seeing none. Pat?
Yes.
Julie?
Yes.
Virginia?
No.
And I will vote yes. Just to keep, when it's 2-1, I'll vote to make sure it's not a tie. Okay, Article 4.
Yeah, this is advisory committee. This is where we keep running into the problem
Yep,
with
for
warrant
warrants.
articles, which we're discussing right now.
Yep.
And why I asked to have it with the discussion tonight instead of, you know what I'm getting at.
Yep.
Okay, so this is, currently, the way it states is that we have to get the warrant articles to advisory by March 20th for an annual town meeting in May. And we also have that other number said 15 days. And there's another bylaw that says 14 days. So that 14 just corresponds with that. I'm just looking at some date in April.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to be the 20th, but it needs to be, I think.
Later than March
Later than
20th.
March 20th.
Yeah, we discussed that night. That was ridiculous.
What's going on out there?
Nothing, I'm looking at the calendar.
Oh, I'm seeing a flash.
I'm seeing a
of
flash
light.
of light,
I
too.
think they're plowing or something.
Yellow.
Oh.
Yeah, it's yellow.
Sand truck or something?
Is this strictly our bylaw, or is it part of the state law that we have to have?
This is our bylaw that we adopted.
Okay, that we adopted, so it is
Right,
part
so
of the
it's on
state law
page
that
4.
says March 20th?
No, the state law doesn't say anything, this is local, okay?
All right,
So advisory
Nice.
committees, we have all of these, this is not a
Yep.
state statute.
all right.
So, that's a minimum of 3 weeks before town meeting,
Right.
if we go the 20th. I think Jeff, when Jeff and I were talking at one point, we said maybe we go the 15th. It's tax day, and that way everything, we can remember
I
everything.
remember. And I had a discussion with Chairman of Advisory today, and his general comment was, he thinks April 20th is too late, because they'd like to have roughly a month of time to review for, if it's generally a May 7th, 10th, 12th, 14th
Yeah.
town meeting day.
Yeah.
A month would give them enough time. So he thought March 20th was too early and April 20th was too late.
Okay.
He didn't want to express a particular date, but a month's time is good.
All right, so
Okay.
it's usually the, what,
14th, sort of.
it's in that range. Let's see.
It's got to be earlier than the 14th, because it's the second Tuesday, it can't be later.
The earliest it can be is the 9th, if it's the
Yep.
second Tuesday.
Yep. So take the middle part of that range, the 9th into the 14th is like, the
Yeah.
12th, 11th.
So like, yeah, April
April 10th.
10th, April 12th, somewhere in that range.
You have to have the warrant posted by the 15 days prior to, or 14 days prior to the.
Meeting.
The town meeting.
Right. So you want to go April 10th? Want to change it to the 10th?
Yeah. there were-
It's 20 more days anyway,
Right.
21 more days.
I mean, we're probably still gonna have, because if we meet every other, the second
Yeah.
and fourth, we're still gonna have those issues as well.
Right. Okay, so we'll change it, we'll put it on as April 10th.
So then I move that we accept this, put on a,
Yep. As April
I
10th.
make a motion to amend this bylaw as a Board of Selectmen article, for the annual town meeting,
okay, I need to say that.
back to, oh, I'm sorry, were you making a motion?
I just made a motion.
All right, I'm sorry. Tell me you're making a motion.
All right, so
I'll
it's been
second it.
approved and, made and seconded. Any other discussion? Seeing none. Pat?
Yes.
Virginia?
Yes.
Julie?
Yes.
Okay.
April 10th, right?
April
That's
10th.
correct.
Okay, this one's mine. If you'll remember, I don't know, probably 2 months ago when we were having a discussion, I came here at a meeting after a light meeting, and I was making a comment that I thought serving on this Board of Selectmen and on a board like the Light Board or the Sewer Board, to me, was a conflict of interest. So this bylaw is to say selectmen shall not serve in any other elected capacity within the town. Any person elected to the Board of Selectmen shall no later than the next town election resign from any other elected position that they may hold in the town. So if you're on the board, on another board, and you get voted to the Board of Selectmen, you have until the next election, then you have to get off that other board. That's what that's about.
Motion to put this on the warrant.
And I will second it.
Okay, any discussion? Yes,
What was the DOR recommendation?
I believe
for
that was their recommendation.
That was.
They said any other board, and we're just keeping it to elected
Any
boards,
other
because
elected
we
board.
serve on several boards,
Right.
but they're all appointed, you know. So we're saying no other elected boards.
Okay.
So the reason, another reason to do these as Board of Selectmen articles versus citizen petitions is, in case there's some wording that has to be changed, these will be reviewed by legal counsel,
Right.
so that we can get it right. So that's an advantage.
Okay, so we've had a motion, it's been seconded. Any other discussion? Okay, Pat?
Yes.
Julie?
Yes.
Virginia?
Yes.
Can I make a recommendation, since these are out of order? There are 2 town administrator articles, the very last one, which is very lengthy, and this one, which is
Okay.
very short.
Okay,
Either do them both at once, whether you do them now or at the end. But, you know, you've got 2 articles dealing with essentially the same subject.
all right, well, let's hold them to the end. How's that? We'll go on to delinquent taxpayers.
The reasoning behind this is that we now have quarterly billing, and when this was passed, we did not have quarterly billing. Your bills came out once a year, so the 12-month period was
Right.
because of that. I think Kirk has mentioned a couple of times that there have been issues with people applying for licenses who have delinquent taxes, but they're not notified because of the 12-month period. So I think if that is switched to like a 6-month period, I think that's fair to the person and it's fair to the licensing authority
Okay.
as well.
So is this the wording as it is now?
Yeah.
In the
Section
bold?
A. It says 12-month period right now. and
Right.
I think it.
You wanna change it to
my suggestion would be
6
a 6-month.
Right. That would make sense.
Okay. So a motion to put this on the,
I would move to put this on, changing it to a 6-month period.
okay.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion on this article? Seeing none. Pat?
Yes.
Julie?
Yes.
Virginia?
Yes.
Virginia made the motion, Pat seconded.
It's 6 months rather than 12.
6 months, yep.
Yep.
Records and reports.
Records and reports, a lot of towns are getting away from printing their annual report. They'll do like maybe 10 or 12, instead of having cases and cases of annual reports. And then if somebody wants an annual report, they can come and, it won't be a bound copy, but it'll be stapled. If they want to come to the selectman's office and get it printed out, or to the mayor's office. A number of towns are doing this. It's expensive to have it typeset and printed every year. So, that was the reasoning behind this.
And burned on CD.
Or put it
Yeah, I
on the
mean-
It'll be
website.
on the web, you can download it,
Right.
your hard drive, read
You
it,
know,
print it, whatever
it
you want to do.
starts off digital.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we begin with a digital copy, so.
Okay, so do we want to throw a number of hard copies that we're going to make? How many do we make now? 500?
Why not?
It's her first day.
It's at least 500. I want to say
I thought it was 1,200.
1,000, 1,200.
1,000 to
Because I thought there was
1,200.
that in the law stating that they should be passed out at election.
No,
That
our
is a
bylaw
that's
says
a
it.
town bylaw. The state law, you got, if you had a dozen, you'd meet state law. I think you
I think
gotta
what they-
send 2 to the Secretary
I
of
think
State,
what
the
they
town
say
clerk
in the
gets
law is that you
2.
have to make sure that there's a way that they can get
Yeah,
a copy of
right.
it.
Get a copy of it, right. Our local bylaw says we hand them out, but we can change it. That's the whole-
Yes, Mr. Dennis.
If a citizen was to come into the selectman's office for a copy, what would be the charge?
Be free.
I think we could do it for free.
Yeah. That would be
As long as
my,
they wouldn't sit there and wait for us, if they'd come in and maybe make the request, we'd say, okay, come back Tuesday and we'll give you your
Yeah,
free
I
copy.
realize that lots of times supposedly if you go into a town office and you want copies of something, you charge so much per sheet.
Right, but not the annual
Right,
report.
not the
When it comes to the annual report, it'd be a lot of
Printing and
sheets.
copying costs though. because
Do you want to know how many you get every year?
Yeah.
I thought you had the answer.
Easy enough to have 5 or 10
Yeah.
ahead, so if somebody came in and
Right.
wanted one,
You know,
they were all.
right, but
together
but Mary may be
tomorrow.
right, we need to charge some kind of a nominal fee if we're
Why,
gonna.
we
They
hand them out
taxes,
now.
they want them.
Yeah, we hand them out for free
Probably in the
now.
annual report, how many we got last year.
Yeah, so if we pay
Oh,
it
that's
there.
true, you'll save that on your budget, so the
Yeah.
cost for
Well, that'll-
printing and copying.
But that'll come off of her budget and come on to ours,
Right.
that's the difference.
It's on our budget now.
it's on,
We-
it's
Oh,
on.
all right.
We produce
All
it,
right,
we print it,
I
and
thought
pay
it was
for it.
clerk.
No, it's our budget.
She has nothing to do with it.
Okay,
No.
So,
all right then.
So the only question is, I mean, we do have to produce some
Right.
bound copies, and
This would be for next year though, right?
yeah,
Yeah, so what?
14.
Produce what, 100 of them or
not even, I don't think.
50 of them, maybe?
Well, you know, there are certain places that are required to have them,
Right.
like your town clerk, your library, the office.
Yeah.
But it says some,
Right.
I
Yeah.
would assume a couple to the state.
Right, and, yeah,
exactly. So
you know, and
we could probably even determine with the printer, at 50 is probably a minimum order you could get them to do.
yeah, and the other issue is that the election, this isn't for the bylaw, but the election is going to be April 30th, and I doubt if the annual reports will be ready by then.
Well, that's all up to date. It's got nothing- Well,
Well,
first, I do need the report.
Hey,
before the selectmen
good
do
one.
anything.
It's almost done.
Okay. Once I get that,
I planned on
That's
having,
it.
I planned on having it to you
well, it was
when you
to the
got
board, it
back.
wasn't to.
No, it's,
I can start to put it in order and once
Hey,
I
what's up?
have about 10 boards and
I
Hey,
was,
how
Once I
many
get them,
town
it's gonna
reports
take
do you
me
write for
a
town
while.
You'll have mine by
I will
Wednesday.
have it ready for the election,
500,000?
but it's just the
whatever,
election is.
You know,
but we also don't have,
how many town reports do
Discuss how
you
many.
print for the town of Templeton? Yeah,
Well, the bylaw
how
is
many
still
of those
in
town
effect.
reports do you make?
Yeah.
so you want to say make this number like 50, I think, like Virginia said.
That's all?
Why not? Well, in fact, published, made available in the town office clerk on the Monday.
Will be made available for distribution at polling places.
You could just delete that sentence.
No, I'm talking about this year.
All right.
I'm talking about this year, I'm not changing.
We're not changing anything
Oh,
this year.
we
No.
can't,
But
we
what I'm
can't
saying
change
is
it.
if
this
we're
year.
gonna print it, where am I gonna get the funds to do this? That's what I'm asking.
There's plenty of budget.
It's not enough.
Okay.
All right,
Well, they,
$15. What's it?
sitting there wanting to go
1,200?
a new way with all the
That's-
electronic communication. You know? They're trying to do that.
I just copied the bylaw
Okay.
as it was written. I didn't
All right,
make
thank
any
you very much.
changes.
Yep.
So,
This is just for discussion if we wanna figure out a different way of doing this.
My brother says that less than 500. Never any more than that. Usually 250 to 500.
We can look at it.
All right, then I think that
25.
it would make some sense to put this as as a revised bylaw. Do we want to say
Not-
50, or do we want to leave it a little more open, so
I
in
would-
case he checks into it and they say, you
Publish
know,
the annual.
To be made available at the preceding first Monday in May.
Right, if we just get rid of the last.
And get rid of all
Take the
remaining
sentence
copies,
off.
right.
It says it's available, and then you could, by vote or motion or regulation, how many and whether you want to charge for it or not,
right,
or just a direction to the office, make it available free, charge them $5, whatever. But
We
it wouldn't
can
be a
decide
town
that later.
bylaw, you can decide all that
right,
later.
exactly. All right, so I made the motion.
Just
Delete that sentence.
And I'll
You got a
second.
street list too now. You're worried about a town report, you still got a street list. How many
Well,
have you
is-
got?
I didn't find the street list in here.
Okay.
That's the town clerk. The town
You
clerk does
find
the
me
street
this
list.
bylaw and I will spit.
All right, so the motion's been made and seconded. We're gonna remove that last sentence and then come up with a number of how many we will actually publish. Pat?
Yes.
Julie?
Yes.
Virginia?
Yes,
yes, it will be available if they complain.
Okay, I just, all boards, committees, and commissions. Yes.
Yes.
pretty soon I'm gonna have to take a 2-minute break.
I thought this was gonna be short. We're almost done.
Me too.
But we're not really almost done.
We only got 5 more.
Right.
Do you need to, go ahead.
You wanna take the minutes?
I need to take a
Take a
2-minute recess.
recess. I can use a recess.
Not before me.
Tell Mr. Brady to take a break for 2 minutes.
Had that cup of tea.
Okay, what I missed?
Yeah, this came off the website.
I mean, you want to change.
Oh.
I can sign this one. Blue ink only, I got you.
They gotta cook stuff this way, never move on.
Pick up.
What they got?
I'm sure this is blue enough. Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it's got street numbers.
Okay. Financial affairs.
Financial affairs, I don't know if we just want to just strike this section. It's about dog tax money going to the library.
Yeah.
I don't think there's like I think a revolving fund is a better use, and I don't think we need a bylaw to make a revolving fund for the fines that are collected.
Doesn't that comes right to the general fund now, right? It used to go to, apparently it used to go to the library at one time, but,
Right.
yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, if we've got a bylaw that says one thing and we do something else, I don't know.
We should strike it.
We should probably strike it and then look at maybe probably creating a revolving fund for the library fees. Do those stay with the library? Do those?
Yes, they do. The
Library fees do stay with the library?
They have.
Okay, the fines.
The
Okay.
fines stay in the library fund.
All right,
But
then,
you don't think the dog tax money is going there? Is that what?
no, it goes to the general fund.
So why is this in here?
I don't know.
Because nobody ever took it out when we stopped doing it. Article 5, Financial Affairs, I would move that we strike it from the bylaws.
And I will second it.
And then do you have, just before we vote, do you have another article to set up the revolving account?
No, I don't, well, we don't need a bylaw to do that.
We don't-
can just do it.
No.
We really don't.
An article,
Just a
although,
regular article?
do remind me, someone should make sure that I put it in, and I'll make a note, but,
Okay.
and we'll have to discuss the amount. We have one article, we put all the revolvers in one article. It's a long article, and there's about 8 or 9 of them that we have already. We'd make one more, the question is what amount? I don't know how much we generate through something
Why don't we
like that.
just leave it coming into the general fund?
That too, since we're funding the rest of the library budget anyway.
So we got a motion that was.
Yeah.
The motion is to remove this Article 5.
Section 6, Article 5, Section 6. Motion is to strike.
The articles, warrant articles.
And did I get a second?
Julie,
Essentially,
yeah.
on the end of.
Any other discussion?
You are,
Go ahead.
I won't take much of you want to change some of the bylaws we have in place right now that are redundant or whatever, don't
Yeah.
work.
Or there are
Right.
conflicts.
This is for the annual.
Yes,
That's right.
So you will hold a public hearing to
Oh,
discuss.
yeah, yeah. This will be on the warrant, yeah.
No, but you still need to hold a public hearing to change a bylaw in town. Doesn't matter if it's zoning or if it's a
That's
bylaw,
what I
it's a
asked last
bylaw.
time.
So you have to get your list, advertise the list, and you're gonna have a public hearing to discuss it all. You open up the dialogue, discuss it, vote, it then goes to the floor. Because it's still a bylaw, not a reg.
My point is,
Am I
the
right?
pre-town meeting is that hearing. That when we have a pre-town hearing and sit with advisory and the board, you're having to post all that.
I just don't know the
advertising.
difference between zoning bylaws and regular bylaws.
Yeah.
The planning board can't just say, we want to change that from green to purple. We need to have advertise, hold a public hearing, open the hearing, discussing whether anybody's there or not.
Yeah.
Close the public hearing, render our decision saying, hey, we're going to recommend that we put this on the floor, and then it becomes an article.
So you're saying we should.
It's a bylaws have to be
these-
voted in and out at town meeting. I might be wrong, but I think I'm 100% right.
No, I think the bylaws have to be voted at annual town meeting, but a town bylaw can be changed. You can change it by citizen petition, and you're not required to have a
You're
hearing.
not, okay, all right. Maybe I'm just thinking zoning, that's why.
And the pre-town
just-
meeting isn't.
It's the hearing.
I was stating, I was kind of asking, because I just didn't know, I thought maybe it's just zoning bylaws.
It's the same function, Kirk. The pre-town meeting, which is advertised in the newspaper, that's a hearing, so to speak. It's not an official docket like a hearing, but that's your public hearing of, we propose making these bylaw changes. Here's the discussion points, and we'll be taking this up at the town meeting in 2 weeks.
Oh.
Right?
But I thought pre-town, they only talked about financial articles.
No.
No, they go through all the articles and make their
The only ones they
Except for
recommendations.
citizen petitions.
Except citizen petitions.
Okay.
Okay. All right, thank you. I'm going to throw my 2 cents in.
Hey. All right, so the motion is to
That's how much that
remove
was.
Article 5, Section 6 from the bylaw. It's been made and seconded. Any other discussion? Pat?
Yes.
Julie?
Yes.
Virginia?
Yes.
Okay.
The next article is bylaw Article 2, town meeting. It says we're required to put a notice of said town meeting to be published in a local newspaper. More and more newspapers are being sold off of local business. So I think we need to remove those words from this article and use the town's website as the official posting place. I think it'll save us money in publishing costs. And in the years I've been teaching, I ask kids as one of my activities, like, how many do you get newspapers at home? When I first started, I'd have 5 or 6 kids. Past 2 years, 0. Not one family gets a newspaper on a daily basis. So it's kind of an anachronism at this point in time.
What about the people who don't have a computer?
There you go.
There's a lot of people that rely on that newspaper for,
I can tell you what happened with that foot of snow.
I mean, look at-
I called the Gardner News 3 times to see if they would come out because of the age of my home and how long it's been in one family. They had Gardner News in the telephone book, 3 different places. And they're not in business now. Gardner News is owned by somebody else. You can't talk to a soul. You can't get anything into the Gardner News right now unless you go through a computer. It happened in the foot of snowstorm.
well, I just think. that
I even
this
went
is-
down and stopped and talked and then they didn't want to talk to me.
We also have a policy in town, I don't know if it's not a bylaw. Obviously, we always post our meetings on sandwich boards on both commons. That's not an official posting, it's a tradition.
Right.
We could make that also part of a bylaw, officially shall be noticed, you know. It's the same, likewise, there's never any issue with it, but I think that certainly is a visible place for people. The only comment I'd make is that if people don't travel, can't drive, especially the elderly, don't have a computer, they really don't have a way to get any news. On the other hand, for annual town meeting, everybody knows when it's going to be. Special town meetings, good argument. Annual town meeting, you can't really argue that people didn't know when it was going to be. It's the same time every year.
Mr. Dennis?
This is-
Well, I'm one of those without a computer at home.
I know one.
And one of the other things that bothers me, along with the same line of thinking, maybe a little bit out of order here, is like this meeting this evening. If you pick up the Gardner News and they list the town meetings, they had the finance committee meeting for Wednesday evening.
Yeah, they didn't have ours
They
in
did
there.
not list the Board of Selectmen.
I noticed
And
that.
that's a common thing. I don't know.
The Gardner News.
Yeah.
Well,
You
I
know,
think that.
They usually do have our meeting, I don't know what
Because
happened.
the Gardner
They
News
miss
gets
it quite
their
often.
notices from the website, and it
Right.
wasn't on the website.
That could
Yeah,
be.
but
Yeah.
The only place
That's
we'll
it.
can find it was
But
on
if-
the
that's the answer.
public
They didn't
Website.
hop in their car and go check the town clerk's board where it was
There's
posted.
no place to park
They
at the town clerk's
look-
office. How the
they
hell are you gonna read?
look-
I think it makes more sense to put it in the Gardner News.
Well, if it's not getting to the Gardner News.
What?
It's not, you just said it wasn't in the Gardner
Well,
News.
maybe someone from the selectman's office should call the Gardner News to tell them what meeting.
Well,
For the
this-
town meeting,
This
we
is about town
call-
meeting, this
yeah.
is not about selectmen's meetings.
Put it
so-
in.
Right.
Well,
So the warrant is printed in the.
No, just a
Gardner
meeting
News?
notice.
Just a
meeting
notice.
Just a meeting notice.
Just a meeting
And how much
notice.
does that cost?
Believe it or not.
40
it's
bucks,
pretty
50
expensive,
bucks?
yeah.
It's like 38, 40 bucks.
I think it's more like 68.
Oh,
Yeah.
However, I think you have enough people in town that rely on the newspaper for their news. That information, that
I have to
Don't
pick up my
go on the
paperwork over to what Kara Harris is every Monday. You tell me what time that meeting is at.
What is that?
It doesn't have.
Good
the
point, just to have
time.
the time on it.
Right.
Huh?
What is that?
This is the
Time, this is
meeting.
this
Oh.
meeting. Well, you can blame me, Charlie, because I did it on Thursday
I
afternoon.
called Will, and the only place he could find it was on Polly's blog.
I didn't put it out there.
I came out to see Jeff to see this one.
The official town
You can pass
website.
over this, I'll do it as a
I think
citizen.
they're getting you something.
Well, wait a minute, maybe instead of
That's
passing
not the
over,
first time this has happened to me.
Okay, hold on, let's
maybe
stay
instead of
focused.
passing over, but put in newspaper and the website. I know it's
To the
not saving the
website in
money,
addition
but
to,
I like the idea of the website, but also, I know my grandparents loved to read the paper every day, whether it was, you know, nothing in there or whatever, but they look forward to it every day, and
Looking at the pictures.
like Mr. Dennis says, you know, that's the only way he gets any kind of information, and we pay to have that put in there. I still think we should keep it in the paper, but also amend the article to say the website as well.
I would buy that.
For now. you know, I mean, and then in 5 years, when the Gardner News goes out of business, or is bought by the Inquirer.
So how do you want to amend it?
5, 6, or 8, running out of ink sometimes.
And on the website?
Yeah, I think they just want it to be on both.
Website?
Did they sell it that long?
No. No, she's still the head honcho.
She's still there?
Oh, yeah, Pittsburgh.
So are you making that motion then?
Yes.
I'll second
Up
it.
to her.
So the motion's been made and seconded to leave it in the paper and also put it on, officially put it on the town website.
On the town's official website.
And it's still posted at the clerk's office too.
Right, yes.
So if you can't get it like that,
Any other discussion? Seeing none. Pat?
Yes.
Virginia?
Yes.
Julie?
Yes.
All right, other financial affairs. Section 5.
Section 5, this is to put items out to bid, obsolete equipment. And there's a section, there's a sentence that says, bid invitation to be published in a local newspaper of general circulation at least 10 days prior to set date for opening bids. That's how you're supposed to sell off obsolete equipment. In this day and age, I think we did much better when we used municipal.
Oh, yeah.
Did you still have to post that?
We didn't put it in the newspaper, we violated, we posted it on the bulletin boards, but I didn't realize there was a bylaw that said you had to put it in the newspaper. I don't recall putting it in the newspaper. I don't think we did.
There's no state mandate that says we have to.
When you are real estate
Right.
and surplus over X, 5,000 or 20,000 or something, you put it in the central register,
Right.
which means you just send it in and they publish it. It's all electronic, you never put it in the newspaper.
Okay. So we can delete to publish these in the local paper.
Now, just for the record, I have no problem putting it on the website, electronically distributing it any way we can. Even if we use municipal bid, that's not exclusive, and you can certainly get other bidders from other places, so. I'm more than happy to do that, just not, and even post, but not put in the newspaper.
Okay, so I'll take a motion to delete. The invitation has to be published in the local newspaper.
So moved.
Second, I'm sorry.
Any discussion? Seeing none. Pat?
Yes.
Julie?
Yes.
Virginia?
yes.
And this last one, well, aside from the town administrator,
Mhm.
is to designate the website for the town as the official posting place for all meetings, notices, agendas. It's a very slight modification of what we already have.
So you don't intend to put in the Gardner News anymore? Post the meetings and stuff? What did you just say there? Official website.
Right.
Will be the official posting place.
Right.
So you're saying instead of the town clerk's office?
For meetings and agendas and all of that, that would,
So that is the one site where you would go. It doesn't mean that the town clerk won't post them. It just means that that's the official place.
but her place will not be the official place anymore.
Right.
If this passes.
Um,
I mean, again, this is just to get
Website
it.
in town hall, maybe?
Well, you can still put them out here.
Oh, and you'd
The
still-
official
Right,
site.
it's not like you're not
But
going
the
to put it
website
right.
is the official.
Right,
Right.
we're just designating the official site. The town clerk still has to get copies of everything by law and keep copies of everything, including minutes and postings. But when she puts it on the board outside her office, that does not make it official. What makes it official is when you put it on the website. Which would allow us, for instance, to post on the website on a Friday when her office is closed. But you could post it on a Friday for a Tuesday meeting and not have to wait till the following Monday when her office is opening, thereby you can't have the meeting Tuesday because you have to wait till Monday to post it in 48 hours, and now it's Wednesday. So it does smooth things out a little bit. But because she'd still have to get copies, paper copies of everything, because that's the state law, which is a different law.
Virginia?
I have a couple of questions. First of all, Kathy has been telling us right along that she has no more room on our website. So what if she comes across this now and she gets official postings and can't put them because she's got, or has to start removing other ones in order to put them up? I think we need to resolve that issue.
The website issue.
Right.
Exactly, and we've talked about a couple of ways to do that, but I think that needs to be resolved before we make her the official website. That's just my, the other thing is, and this is a question, does the school, do meetings that are held by and or for the school have to go by the same open meeting law that we do?
Here is the final, definitive, conclusive, absolutely can't vary answer, yes, yes, yes. They
Well,
violate it all the time.
Why do they
but
violate it constantly?
You have to take that up with their general counsel.
Well-
File open meeting law complaints against them. I mean, that's what you do.
Don't
Behavior
comply with the law.
changes.
They are a public body, it applies to all public bodies. They are not the town. They don't have to comply with our bylaws. They have to comply with state law as a regional school district, and one of the things that regional school districts have to do is comply with the open meetings law. So they claim that they do post, by the way. They post it on their website somewhere.
They post it on their website, exactly.
If you can find it.
That's not our official site for the town.
Right.
Do they have to abide by our official site?
They should have to abide by both Phillipston's
I would think so.
and Templeton's, and that's something that should probably be in the regional agreement.
Yeah, but the regional agreement is tomorrow night, the same time as the hearing, so.
I know.
We're moving in the right direction. We're moving in the right direction here.
Back to this one.
But back to the issue.
Yeah.
I would like to see this put on town meeting floor. We are going to have to address the issue of the website.
Yeah.
And I think, we both talked to the representatives at Virtual Town Hall.
Yeah.
I sent them an email, and we're trying to schedule a time for them to come out and present.
Okay, so I think that would be useful, and if we have any money to scrape by this year,
Yeah, we need to make the website maxed out.
yeah, it's something that I think we should seriously consider doing.
Okay, so I'll take a motion, if anybody wants to make one, to
So
put this on
moved.
the warrant.
I'll second it.
Okay, any other discussion? Seeing none. Pat?
Yes.
Julie?
Yes.
Virginia?
Yes.
Okay. Town administrator, why do we have two?
Well,
Two people write one?
Couldn't make up your
I
mind?
couldn't make up my mind. For tonight, I'm gonna withdraw the longer one,
Okay.
more detail.
now?
For now.
Okay, then I'll leave it for
All right. The shorter one is accepting Chapter 41, Section 23A. When we created a town coordinator position, we never made a bylaw. It was a vote in 1998. So you have to go to that annual report and find the vote to figure out what law was used to create the position. Our bylaws are absolutely silent on the position of town coordinator, okay? I would like to rescind the vote for the 23C, or amend that vote, and have it as a bylaw, so that we adopt Chapter 41, Section 23A. And this wording comes right off the law, okay? And it says, "A town may vote or by law authorize and empower the selectmen to appoint an executive secretary or town administrator." And at this point, I feel it should be a town administrator. And then you go through and it just tells you a little bit about town administrator, okay? It doesn't go into the detail, and I think to get into the detail, like that longer one, that's a sample it was cobbled together from a number of other towns, okay?
And isn't that more or less what duties you would want to have him, because
Right.
that doesn't have to be
That
spelled out
doesn't
in there.
have to be spelled out
Okay.
in a bylaw, but at least
Okay.
we would have a bylaw that refers to someone as a town administrator. And then we can go from there and fine tune it. See, when I first started going to the MMA meetings, I usually go to the municipal law updates, and there was an attorney there, and he's saying more and more towns are putting in special legislation, which has to go to the legislator, be voted on by the general court, and it's this big, long process. It's very hard to undo. It's very cumbersome. But we have the ability as a town, town meeting has the ability to make the laws that we want to live by. And we can adapt them. If it doesn't work, you can change them.
Right.
That's what this is, we're changing our bylaws. And it's a much less cumbersome process. I believe we can only do it at the annual town meeting, but we need verification of that. So that's why I put this forward, because we need to have some wording in there. We have a vote that was taken in '98, but we do not have a bylaw. So I would like to
Somehow.
change it to town administrator.
Yeah, somehow we made a mistake in that vote too. I keep hearing about that from people. It was supposed to be, it was never supposed to be C, it was supposed to be A to begin with or something.
Okay, but,
But I know, it's written like that.
right.
Yeah, and you know, I want this to happen. I mean, this has been my thing all along. I want us to have a town administrator. I think it's way past time for that. I just want to make sure that we're doing it right, because, you know, talking to other places that have done it, and they've taken the long route and done the whole charter and the whole thing with the legislature. My concern is that it can be changed so easily. You know, so we appoint a town administrator now, and then this time next year, somebody comes up with a petition and says, we don't like it, we want to get this changed back to the other way. You know, then we're right back where we started. I wanted to see it, if we do it with the charter and that kind of thing, then it's more permanent.
What if it doesn't work though? That's why she's trying to meet the bylaw, because you can change it.
What's the difference between the coordinator and the two jobs?
And the administrator.
The administrator.
Are you dealing with semantics here?
No.
Coordinator and-
No.
You'll have more power.
No, he would have more power.
Right.
Okay.
We could,
What
as a
authority?
board,
What is the
give
difference?
a town administrator more power, okay? A coordinator is an executive secretary. That's it.
An administrator
What power are
has
you
the authority
talking
to,
What can he do? What can he do with those jobs and
Can't set
Right
policy.
now-
this with his new job?
right now, he works under our direction. An administrator would come to us if there was a problem, but basically, he would work under his own power.
Oh, okay. Okay, so
Thank
we
you.
can give him a lot more responsibility and power.
That's right.
It all
Employees and lines.
Go ahead, Peter.
it all transpired, we had the Legion, meeting down the Legion at that time. Glenn Eaton was selectman at the time when we started all this here. That's when Chris Ryan got appointed as coordinator.
Yeah.
And that all started down Legion, that's where we had a meeting, that town meeting that day, right down at American Legion. And Glenn Eaton was selectman at the time, I forget what that was right there.
Any other questions about the article here? I don't have a motion yet, so.
I'll make a motion that the
Chris
Board
Ryan.
of Selectmen put this article
Okay,
on the
Who's
warrant.
that first one, right?
Second.
okay. Any other discussion? Seeing none. Pat?
Yes.
Julie?
Yes.
Virginia?
Yes.
So which way are people gonna wanna vote on it? Because now they'll be as confused as I am. Or I asked the questions, I'm not.
Well, maybe we'll think about putting some information out about that, too.
Right.
Thank you.
This is,
We'll
just,
discuss it at the town meeting.
Oh, the language.
A town may, but the town
Right, but
will.
that's, if it's done this way versus a citizen petition.
Right, you can, exactly, the attorneys can,
okay, anything else, folks?
I make a motion to adjourn.
thank you.
Do I have a second? Second.
Or you can vote, will you?
All in favor? Aye. Say aye.
Aye.
Well, wait.
Aye.